Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Most people think dividend investing just means waiting, right? You're waiting for that quarterly check, waiting for the monthly deposit, basically just waiting 30 long days to see your money do absolutely anything. But here we are in 2026, and the financial landscape has completely shifted. We have basically moved from the old, slow standard of monthly dividends into this brand new reality, the literal weekly cash flow machine. Okay, let's dive into this. What if your portfolio actually paid you every single Friday? It sounds crazy, right? But starting with as little as $100, investors are out there right now transforming their portfolios into literal weekly cash machines. So, today, we're going to break down exactly how this works. We'll use the latest data to objectively demystify the whole thing, from the incredibly safe foundations to the wildly aggressive strategies that are kind of hiding inside this massive trend. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the weekly paycheck shift, then sequence of returns risk, moving into the safe foundations, followed by the high-yield chasers, and finally, we'll wrap up with the hidden risks and trade-offs. Let's get right into it.
All right, part one, the weekly paycheck shift.
Look, the income landscape moves incredibly fast. If you remember some of those older weekly funds from a few years back, well, you might be surprised to hear they've actually been liquidated. They just couldn't survive the market shifts. But the tools we have now in 2026, they are highly specialized, robust, and literally built to last in this new environment. And a lot of it comes down to the sheer force of math and psychology. Think about it. On day 1, your capital is invested. By day 7, boom, your first Friday paycheck hits. By day 14, your second paycheck is already being automatically reinvested. Over a 10 to 20-year horizon, reinvesting every 7 days instead of every 30, well, it puts your capital back to work so much faster. But honestly, the real magic might just be the behavioral consistency. Friday comes, the money hits, and it goes right back to work. It builds this automatic habit that basically prevents you from spending that cash while you're just sitting around waiting for a monthly drop.
Moving on to part two, sequence of returns risk.
So why does getting paid every week actually matter so much? Well, it solves arguably the biggest danger for retirees, which is sequence of returns risk. Because, let's be real, it doesn't matter if your portfolio averages a nice, healthy return over 20 years if the market just happens to drop 20% in your very first month of retirement. You still need to buy groceries, you still have to pay rent, and if you're forced to sell your shares at a loss just to cover those immediate living expenses, you're going to have fewer shares left to recover when the market eventually bounces back. That sequence of negative drops can literally destroy a perfectly good retirement portfolio. But weekly dividends offer a surprisingly elegant solution to this whole problem. There's this brilliant analogy from our sources that puts it like this. You are living off the rent your capital is paying you. I love that. When your capital pays you every single Friday, you are never forced into a corner where you have to liquidate shares while the market is bleeding red. The market can do whatever it wants on a Wednesday because, hey, you already got paid on Friday. Okay, section 3, the safe foundations. So how do we actually build this thing? And this brilliantly illustrates how we basically have two totally different categories on the risk and reward spectrum. On one side, we've got Tier 1, T-bills and cash. These are your foundational, sleep-well-at-night funds, where your principal is essentially locked down and protected. On the other side, we have Tier 2, the aggressive 0 days to expiration covered call strategies. We're going to dig into both, but we definitely need to start with the safe side first. So here are the foundational players, WKLL, MMKT, and TLDDR. What actually makes them so incredibly safe? Well, they invest strictly in U.S. Treasury bills and cash equivalents. A fund like WKLL, for example, uses an actively managed rolling ladder of T-bills that mature in 0 to 3 months. TLDDR, on the other hand, holds slightly longer maturities and actively pivots based on what the Federal Reserve is doing with interest rates. But because they hold assets backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, the risk to your actual principal is just incredibly low. Plus, check out those expense ratios, roughly 0.19 to 0.20%. To put that in perspective, for every $1,000 you invest, you're paying maybe $2 a year for professional management. Not bad at all. And the crazy part is these still manage to deliver a highly competitive yield. For instance, MMKT's 7-day yield is sitting right around 4.05%. You can kind of think of MMKT as an emergency fund on absolute steroids. It's fully compliant with those super strict SEC rules for money market funds, which means it has extreme price stability. If the S&P 500 nosedives 10% in a week, this fund probably won't move an inch, but it's still going to ping your phone with a paycheck every single Friday.
Moving right along to Section 4, the high yield chasers.
Now, I know exactly why a lot of you are here. You want to see the really big checks. Well, buckle up because we are completely leaving the government safety net behind now. 40% plus. Yeah, you heard that right. This is the jarring double-digit yield reality of the aggressive income space. But you've got to ask yourself, how on earth are these funds generating that kind of massive cash every single week without just completely collapsing? Now, what's really interesting about this is the actual mechanics going on behind the curtain. These massive yields, they come from highly complex synthetic covered call strategies. Here's how it works. Step 1. The fund tracks a major index like the NASDAQ 100 or the S&P 500, or sometimes even a specific stock. Step 2. Every single morning, they sell 0 DTE, which means 0 days to expiration call or put options. They are basically in there making daily, highly calculated trades based on market volatility. And finally, step 3, they collect all those small fees from the daily trades, which are called option premiums, and they distribute the whole shebang out to you on Friday. And here is what that actually looks like in practice. You've got funds like QDT targeting the NASDAQ 100, SDGY targeting the S&P 500, and then something like YieldMax, which is a fund of funds that essentially holds a bunch of other aggressive single-stock option funds. These guys are cranking out massive annualized yields, sometimes floating around that 20 to 40% range. But take a really close look at that expense ratio column. You're paying a heavy, heavy premium for this daily high-octane management. Fees jump all the way from that tiny 0.2% in our safe tier right up to almost 1.3% here. Which brings us to our final section, number 5, hidden risks and trade-offs. We really need to peel back the final layer here and look at the true costs of chasing these massive weekly yields. So the crucial point is understanding a very specific term, return of capital, or ROC. Listen, when a fund pays out a massive yield, it isn't always just pure profit from market gains or those options premiums we talked about. Sometimes, and actually quite often, it's literally just returning a portion of your very own original investment right back to you. And over time, doing this can seriously erode the net asset value, or NAV, of the ETF. For example, consider the distribution profile of GLDY. This is a gold-enhanced options ETF that boasts yields of over 40%. But get this, a staggering 93% of its distributions come directly from return of capital. Only 7% is actual generated income. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean the fund is broken or a scam, but it absolutely means you have to view it realistically as a high-frequency cash flow tool, not some magical free money generator. A lot of the time, you're just getting your own principal handed back to you week by week. And the danger isn't just hiding out in tech or gold options either. Let's look at a fund called TSYW. Now, it sounds super safe because it holds treasury bonds, right? Well, actually, it's 1.2 times leveraged on long-term bonds. That means it's incredibly sensitive to interest rate hikes. If the Fed raises rates, the price of this fund is going to drop way faster than your standard bond fund. Plus, you're paying a pretty steep 0.99% fee just to hold it. This leverage trap means a fund like TSYW should really only ever be a tiny satellite holding for you, absolutely not the core foundation of your portfolio. And finally, we cannot ignore the IRS. Weekly dividends are absolutely amazing, but they do come with a fairly brutal tax drag. The income from these T-bill and bond ETFs, it's classified as ordinary income, not traditional qualified dividends. So that means it's taxed at your highest regular income tax bracket, which could be up to 37%. But there is a pretty major wealth hack here. Because foundational funds like WKLY and MMKT are made up of U.S. Treasuries, that income is generally exempt from state and local taxes. If you live in a high-tax state, that is a massive, massive advantage. So there you have it, from ultra-safe rolling T-bill ladders all the way to high-risk, zero-day options trading, the 2026 market has completely reinvented how we can generate cash flow. The tools are absolutely out there right now to build a literal Friday paycheck machine, but you have to know exactly what's under the hood of what you're holding. So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. Are you a monthly loyalist, happy to stick to the traditional path, or are you ready to completely restructure your portfolio to get that weekly paycheck? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning and keep investing smart.